In this video, I will bring your enlightenment on how women secretly test you in some ways you haven't thought about. So let's not waste any time and let's get straight into it. 1. Testing your confidence. She puts him to the test by making him feel insecure. While some women might overdo it, others might do it more subtly. Women frequently put high-value men to the test by contesting their thoughts or beliefs since they are renowned for their unshakable confidence. While this could seem like an irritation, she might also play the devil's advocate in an effort to make him second-guess himself. It's basically a woman's attempt to better comprehend him. She wants to know if he can maintain composure under pressure. High-quality men have rational minds and are able to see right through a woman's deceptions. They are able to stay one step ahead because they always know what to do next. Women are unaware of how highly valued males are. Often use these challenges as a chance to learn more about how their brains function and what they are thinking. To stay one step ahead, it's like a mental wrestling battle for them. Their wit and knowledge frequently disarm women, making them even more vulnerable. Intrigued. This is one of the factors that make women naturally drawn to highly valued guys. A bright mind and quick wit are more important than just good looks. Really seductive. A high-value man shines the brightest when they are mentally engaged. This is where their confidence shines the clearest. 2. Sending mixed signals. She uses a classic method used by women to test men, sending mixed signals. They'll use mixed signals to test how he responds. For instance, she might be hot one second and cold the next, or she might show interest in him one day and then become entirely uninterested. This is all a woman does to measure a man's level of interest in her and how far she will go to win him over. Men frequently become involved in the games and begin to question their actions. They can start to question if they are acting appropriately or whether they are misreading the circumstance. This is where high-value men thrive because they frequently pick up on these games and refuse to participate. This allows individuals to keep their state of mind and focus on their goals. They will inform her that they won't put up with her nonsense and that she must either take a leadership role or leave. High-value guys frequently benefit from her increased attention or complete withdrawal as a result of this. They are skilled at effectively screening women and are not hesitant to let them go if they are not a suitable fit. They will never waste time pursuing someone who gives them conflicting signals. They can concentrate their efforts on more fruitful pursuits thanks to this enormous time saver. 3. Giving the silent treatment. He receives the silent treatment from her. She may do this in response to something he said or did, or she may do it for no reason at all. This is when she completely disregarded him and pretended like he didn't exist. In either case, it's a test to see how he responds and whether or not he will give in to her demands. The high-value man is not the kind of man who will put up with this crap because he is aware that the silent treatment is only a crude ploy to gain attention. He frequently gives her the silent treatment, sometimes even returning it when she finally gives up and leaves. Usually, this is a great method to get her to quickly crawl back to him and beg for pardon. One of the many games that women play is the silent treatment. While women frequently utilize this game as a very effective means of controlling men, it is absolutely ineffective when used against Sigma men. Sigmas like their alone time, thus they may perceive the silent treatment as a gift because it allows them to relax in silence. Since it gives them a much-needed break from some women's continuous speech, some Sigmas might even find the silence treatment enjoyable. The silent treatment is not as effective as women once believed it to be at this point, when they get a taste of their own medicine. 4. Using reverse psychology. She employs reverse psychology, which is another common strategy used by women to test males. To gauge his response, they will say one thing while really meaning the other. For instance, she can pretend to be uninterested in finding anything meaningful when, in fact, she is, or she might act that way to entice him to follow her. This is all a woman does to gauge a man's level of interest in her and how far she will go to win him over. When it comes to reverse psychology, Sigma guys frequently have the upper hand because they are able to see through the pretense and discern what a woman is actually attempting. Saying that does not allow them to become distracted by the gains and keeps them composed. Reverse psychology is merely another chance for high-value men to demonstrate their brilliance and people-reading skills. They view it as a challenge and frequently take pleasure in learning a woman's true thoughts. When people can see through her ruse, they frequently find it humorous and frequently find themselves grinning in the face of difficulty. While some women might find this disarming, employing reverse psychology on a high-value man only serves to increase the intrigue. Male is frequently a futile endeavor, yet it's one that women just have to give a shot. 5. Disagreeing with you. She makes a point of always disagreeing with him. This is a hard one since women frequently use their disagreements with a man to test him. While many guys failed this test as a result of engaging in an argument with her after taking her bait, high-value men frequently wonder if she's actually doing it on purpose or if this is her perspective. They will listen to her opinion and try to understand where she's coming since they respect independent women who have their own beliefs, even though this frequently puts them in an awkward situation. Although they might not always agree with her, they will at least attempt to understand her point of view as a result. Naturally, high-value men quickly determines if a woman is merely attempting to instigate a fight. He will typically just consent in these situations in order to keep the peace and then go on. This form of assessment is frequently ineffective since high-value men don't seem to become easily agitated or defensive. They are adept at maintaining composure and avoid getting into pointless arguments. Moreover, if she hasn't already worked out the high-value man mindset, they are frequently quite effective at calming tense circumstances. He is not someone who is easily deceived or coerced. He is able to see through her tricks and frequently gets the upper hand in these circumstances. She will quickly realize this. There are occasions when a woman may act tough simply for the sake of acting difficult. In these circumstances, the high-value man just disappears, leaving her to fend for alone. Attempting to reason with someone who is obviously not interested in sensible debate is pointless. 6. Testing your attention. She puts him to the test to see if he's listening. At this point, she attempts to measure how much real attention he is giving her. She might change her behavior or appearance multiple times to see whether he notices. She can also make suggestions about what she needs or wants and see if he notices. She frequently gets furious and charges him with not paying enough attention to her if he doesn't. The high-value man is a man who is constantly paying attention and pays attention to even the slightest details. This may be advantageous or detrimental. It's advantageous since he is constantly alert and informed of what is happening. High-value men are very observant and frequently think more analytically than other guys, thus it's bad because it can occasionally make him seem paranoid or suspicious. Whether it's a shift in someone's behavior or a minor detail that others would overlook, they are more likely to notice things that others might not. They are able to see the wider picture and are always aware of what is going on around them, which is one of the qualities that makes them such outstanding leaders. Because they are constantly paying attention, Sigma males frequently succeed on this test without even being aware of it. They will often notice any changes, but this might occasionally be problematic. She can feel uncomfortable if she thinks he's watching her too closely. 7. She tries to change your mind. She is attempting to change his mind. She tries to persuade him to view things her way at this point. She might attempt to sway his opinion by appealing to reason or emotion. If he resists, she will typically become agitated and accuse him of being uncooperative. A high-value man is a man who is steadfast in his beliefs, knows what he stands for, and isn't easily persuaded. He is perceptive and open to hearing other people's perspectives, yet he will always act on his own judgment. She will often only attempt this test once. If he resists, she will give up. She is aware that attempting to change his views is not worth her effort. Naturally, he won't change his mind, and there aren't many things she can do to influence him. On rare occasions, she might be able to persuade him to see things her way, but for the most part, he will adhere to his positions. 8. She tests your emotional strength. When she's unsure about whether to be in a relationship or not, she acts ambiguous to test his emotional commitment. She might play hardball with him and keep him hanging around to see how devoted he is and how much he can take. A high-value man is the kind of man who knows it will happen if it's meant to, therefore he will never pressurize or attempt to persuade her to be with him. He doesn't have to press things, but if too much time passes and she continues to use this childish test, he will go right away. He won't keep hanging around for a very long time or put up with her games. While high-value men are patient, he is not a doormat. He is aware of his value and won't put up with being mistreated. 9. She will test your boundaries. She pushes him to the limit to see how far he will let her go as she tests his limits. She might make him feel uncomfortable with her words or deeds. She is trying to see how he will react, whether it is by stepping over the line with her words or actions. A high-value man is aware of his limitations and will not put up with being pushed outside of them. He will be extremely clear about what is and is not acceptable and is very strong with his boundaries. Depending on how far she is attempting to push him, he may even need to put his foot down and leave the situation. While high-value men also test limits, they do so in a different situation. This is a common tactic used by Whitman to keep guys under control. He wants to test how much they can get away with before finally setting limits. Usually, she does this as a ploy to demonstrate her dominance over him. She uses it initially as a test, but it frequently rapidly turns into a control game. This might swiftly spiral out of control if a man doesn't take a firm stance. Betas who are scared to assert themselves frequently experience this. A high-value man is capable of handling these circumstances and won't allow her to manipulate him for her own benefit. Well, this will be the end of this video. For more free knowledge, feel free to subscribe. And oh, don't forget to leave a like to help me out to grow as a channel.